Back, like I said, we're in the quarantine setup, so uh, not as fancy, but we're gonna get the audio in. Okay, we're on Exodus 32, and we're starting on verse 1. Okay, meanwhile, the people got to see that Moses was taking a long time about coming down from the mountain. So the people congregated themselves about Aaron and said to him, "Get up, make for us a god who will go ahead of us, because as regards this Moses, the man who led us up out of the land of Egypt, we certainly do not know what has happened to him." At this Aaron said to them, "Tear off the gold earrings that are on the ears of your wives, of your sons and of your daughters, and bring them to me." And all the people began tearing off the gold earrings that were in their ears and bringing them to Aaron. When he took the gold from their hands, he formed it with a graving tool and proceeded to make it into a molten statue of a calf. And they began to say, "This is your God, O Israel, who led you up the land of Egypt." So Aaron did that, making a big mistake. When Aaron got to see this, he went to the building an altar before it. Finally, Aaron called out and said, "There is a festival to Jehovah tomorrow." So on the next day they were early in rising, and they began offering up burnt offerings, presenting communion sacrifices. After that the people sat down to eat and drink. Then they got up to have a good time. Jehovah now said to Moses, "Go, descend, because your people whom you led up out of the land of Egypt have acted ruinously. They have turned aside in a hurry from the way I have commanded them to go. They have made a molten statue of a calf for themselves, and keep bowing down to it and sacrificing to it, and saying, 'This is your God, O Israel, who led you up out of the land of Egypt.'" And Jehovah went on to say to Moses, "I have looked at this people, and here it is, a stiff-necked people." A stiff-necked people. Just in the Quran they talk about stiff-necked people too. "So now let me be, that my anger may blaze against them, and I may exterminate them, and let me make you into a great nation." And Moses proceeded to soften the face of Jehovah his God, and to say, "Why, O Jehovah, should your anger blaze against your people, whom you brought out of the land of Egypt with great power and with a strong hand? Why should the Egyptians say, 'With evil intent he brought them out in order to kill them among the mountains and to exterminate them from the surface of the ground'? Turn from your burning anger and feel regret over the evil against your people. Remember Abraham, Isaac, and Israel your servants, to whom you swore by yourself, and that you said to them, 'I shall multiply your seed like the stars of the heavens, and all this land that I have designated I shall give to your seed, that they might indeed take possession of it to time indefinite.'" And Jehovah began to feel regret over the evil that he had spoken of doing to his people. After that Moses turned and went down from the mountain with 2 tablets of the testimony in his hand, tablets written upon both their sides, on this side and on that they were written upon. And the tablets were the workmanship of God, and the writing was the writing of God engraved upon the tablets. And Joshua began to hear the noise of the people because of their shouting. Joshua. And proceeded to say to Moses, "There is a noise of battle in the camp." But he said, "It is not the sound of the singing over mighty performance, and it is not the sound of the singing of defeat. It is the sound of other singing that I am hearing." So it came about that as soon as he got near the camp and could see the calf and the dances, Moses' anger began to blaze, and he at once threw the tablets from his hand and shattered them at the foot of the mountain. Then he took the calf that they had made and burnt it with fire and crushed it till it was fine, after which he scattered it upon the surface of the waters and made the sons of Israel drink it. After that Moses said to Aaron, "What did this people do to you that you have brought a great sin upon it?" To this Aaron said, "Do not let anger of my Lord blaze. You yourself well know the people, that they are evil inclined." Jeez. I mean, it's like, take a little accountability, Aaron. You told them to do it. So that they said to me, make for us a god who will go ahead of us, because as regards this Moses, the man who led us out of the land of Egypt, we certainly do not know what has happened to him. Hence I said to them, who have any gold? They must tear it off themselves, that they may give it to me. And I proceeded to throw it into the fire, and this calf came out of it. And Moses got to see that the people went unrestrained, because Aaron had let them go unrestrained, for a disgrace among their opposers. Then Moses took his stand in the gate of the camp and said, who is on Jehovah's side? To me, and all the sons of Levi began gathering themselves to him. He now said to them, this is what Jehovah, the God of Israel, has said. Put each one of you his sword on his side, pass through and return from gate to gate in the camp, and kill each one his brother, and each one his fellow, and each one his intimate acquaintance. Wow. Whoa. And the sons of Levi proceeded to do as Moses had said, so that there fell of the people on that day about 3,000 men. Bruh. Wow. And Moses went on to say, fill your hand today with power for Jehovah, because each one of you is against his own son and his own brother, and that he may confer a blessing upon you today. And it came about on the very next day that Moses proceeded to say to the people, you have sinned with a great sin, and now I shall go up to Jehovah. Perhaps I can make amends for your sin. So Moses returned to Jehovah and said, but this people has sinned with a great sin, in that they made a god of gold for themselves. But now, if you will pardon their sin, and if not, wipe me out, please, from your book. That's a big request to ask God, right, family? Think about it. Forgive them or wipe me out too. Wow. However, Jehovah said to Moses, whoever has sinned against me, I shall wipe him out of my book. And now come, lead the people to where I have spoken to you of. Look, my angel will go ahead of you, and on the day of my bringing punishment I shall certainly bring punishment upon them for their sin. And Jehovah began plaguing the people because they had made the calf which Aaron had made. Dang, I bet Aaron's feeling like crap right now, right? She was like, dang it! Exodus 33. And Jehovah said further to Moses, go, move up from here, and you and the people whom you led out of the land of Egypt, to the land about which I swore to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, saying, to your seed I shall give it, and I will send an angel ahead of you, and drive out the Canaanites, the Amorites, and the Hittites, and the Pezerites, and the Hivites, and the Jebusites. Dang, there's so many ites in that name. To a land flowing with milk and honey, for I shall not go up in the midst of you, because you are a stiff-necked people, that I may not exterminate you on the way. When the people got to hear this evil word, they began to mourn, and none of them put his ornaments on himself. And Jehovah went on to say to Moses, say to the sons of Israel, you are a stiff-necked people. In one moment I could go up into the midst of you and certainly exterminate you. So now put down your ornaments off yourself, as I want to know what I am going to do to you. And the sons of Israel went off stripping their ornaments off themselves from the Mount Horeb onward. Wow. That's an interesting, like the Canaanites, Amorites, Hittites, and the Pezerites, Hivites, and the Jebusites. That's like a very complicated name, right, family? What do you think? What do you think? I want to know. Man, but think about it, though. I mean, they just straight murked everybody. This is crazy. But, I mean, what had to be done had to be done, maybe, right? They didn't appreciate that they were, left out of the oppressive empire of Egypt, and they turned around and made a golden calf.